Skyrim is a game full of interesting quests, meaningful choices and epic battles. However, mixed in with all that greatness, there are 10 quests that I believe are stupid. Let's face it, when you play Skyrim, some quests are simply left eternally unfinished because of how boring or plain idiotic they are. And perhaps the most uninteresting quest in the entire game is No Stone Unturned. This quest is so tedious, long-winded and insignificant that I've never once completed it in the last 8 years I've been playing Skyrim. This quest is activated when the player brings an unusual gem, originally from Queen Baranzire's crown jewel, to Vex in the Thieves Guild. She'll tell you that there are 24 similar jewels dotted around Skyrim after a thief who stole the crown wanted to cover his tracks and split it into 24 pieces. This is one of the only quests in the game where no map markers are there to guide you. Now, I'm not a huge fan of map markers myself, but having no indication of where these gems are at all makes for tedious work. You could theoretically play Skyrim for hundreds of hours and not find these gems because they're hidden in really inconspicuous places, such as in the upstairs of the House of Clan Shattershield. I mean, who thinks of looking upstairs in a random house? As it happens, this quest is so tedious that on the Skyrim Nexus, someone's uploaded a mod that just tells you where all the fragments are. The next quest isn't one that's uninteresting or tedious, merely scandalously underdeveloped. The quest, Destroy the Dark Brotherhood, is shambolic to say the least. Bethesda should have made a real alternative quest line to that of the Dark Brotherhood, rather than simply having a one quest long episode where Commander Morrow simply pays the player for slaughtering all the assassins at the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary in Falkreath. There's no incentive whatsoever to kill Astrid and to repudiate the Dark Brotherhood, because the alternative to not joining is so hideously poor. You're merely paid 3,000 gold for killing the entire organisation. Comparatively, you earn far more than that completing quests for Astrid, and the unique mount Shadowmere, along with the Blade of Woe, make it far more worthwhile joining up with the Dark Brotherhood. Honestly, it feels like Bethesda were just being lazy when they came up with this quest. Another dumb quest is the one where you're tasked with rejoining the College of Winterhold once you've been suspended. Now, this isn't dumb in itself. Of course, there should be ramifications if you, as a college member, attack a fellow magic user in the college. However, this quest becomes dumb when you get expelled and it's not your fault. Indeed, if one of your followers is a member of the college and they die and it's not your fault, then you'll still be punished and suspended from the college. It seems grossly unfair that if Jazargo, for instance, stupidly falls off a cliff, you're blamed for it. This isn't really much of a quest anyway, but Bethesda should have really fixed this bug to make this quest less annoying. Talking of annoying, it's annoying that the Bard's College questline has nothing to do with learning music. You'd expect when you opt to join a college of bards that you'd learn to play the lute or to sing. But no, in Skyrim, to join the Bard's College means that you're enrolling in the college as the resident cave delver who goes around fetching all the other minstrels' lost instruments. Like with the Destroy the Dark Brotherhood quest, it feels as if the Bard's College questline, if you can call it that, is the remnants of cut content. Would it have really hurt Bethesda so much to delay Skyrim a little bit so they could add the ability to play music to the game? If anything, it would have been better if there was no joinable Bard's College at all, because at least then, people's expectations of it won't be destroyed. It's safe to say that most Skyrim players, when they first opt to join the college, expect for the quests to be more music oriented, but no, the quests simply involve more dungeon delving. Another annoyingly disappointing quest is called the Spiced Wine. This quest is given by Yvette Sarn, who enlists the Dragonborn's help to convince Vittoria Vici to release the spiced wine shipment from the East Empire Company in solitude for the upcoming wedding. All this quest literally involves is going to the docks, talking to Vittoria Vici and convincing her to pay the tariff for the spiced wine. I mean, if this quest wasn't in the game at all, then it wouldn't make a difference. It's just a meaningless, bland quest with no real benefits. And the reward is simply a bottle of spiced wine given by the merchant Yvette Sarn, so it's not really worth it at all. I like Urag Groshub, the matter-of-fact librarian at the College of Winterhold. However, he's awfully dull. He gives out radiant quests to retrieve various books from dangerous locations. But I won't just single out the librarian here. All of Skyrim's radiant quests are boring as hell. I've never ever wanted to really complete them unless I've been short of coin, which I hardly ever am. Some of the worst Radiant quests include Kill the Dragon and Some Light Theft. They're so repetitive to the extent that if you've done them once, you've done them all. But above and beyond the annoyingness of these Radiant quests is the miserably tedious quest that has the player collect 30 Crimson Nirn roots in Blackreach. This quest, called A Return to Your Roots, is started when the player collects a Crimson Nirn root, but rather than just having to harvest one, you instead have to spend hours searching the ruins of Blackreach to find 30 of these plants, and you don't get much to show for it. You simply have to take the plants to the alchemist Avarti, who will tell you that you've completed the research of Sindarian. To be fair though, one of the rewards is the passive effect Sindarian's Serendipity, which will grant a 25% chance that you'll make a duplicate potion of the one you've just made. But either way, this quest is incredibly tedious. Why Bethesda felt they needed to torture the player by making them collect 30 Nirn root in a dark cavern is beyond me. Mining ore is something very few players actually do in Skyrim. Well, unluckily for you, there's a stupid quest where you're enlisted to mine ore. Again, this is a Radiant quest you can get from most mines in Skyrim. Most pay you a measly amount of septims, such as 7 per piece of ore in Dawnstar, but the Kelskegger mine in the Reach offers an unusually high offer of 50 septims per ore. In fact, if you mine all the ore in this mine, you'll have earned yourself 2,500 gold, but of course, this comes at the price of your patience and sanity. I don't know anyone with the willpower to spend hours mining in Skyrim, especially when there are much more interesting things to do. Talking of interesting, the Dawnguard questline is massively epic and rewarding. However, the final quest, which isn't itself that stupid, has a pretty stupid element to it. When you finally confront Harkon, you have the option to simply give him Auriel's bow. Despite the fact you've been fighting him for almost all the DLC, you can legitimately just straight up give him the bow. But the stupid part comes from the fact that if you decide to do this, it has absolutely no impact on anything. Harkon will attack you anyway. Again, it feels lazy from Bethesda. It would actually be pretty cool if you could choose to give him the bow and then side with him. But obviously that story would require too much effort from Bethesda to make, so we're left with a final confrontation where you can randomly attempt to join the villain and fail miserably. Finally, the quest that is the most stupid should be of no surprise to anyone. The quest where Delphine, the leader of the Blades, asks the Dragonborn to kill Paarthurnax is infamous among the Elder Scrolls community.
He helped Alduin enslave our ancestors. He may have betrayed Alduin in the end, but that makes him worse, not better. We can't afford to give Paarthurnax the opportunity to betray us in turn and return to his old master.
Delphine's reasoning is that Paarthurnax committed many awful acts as Alduin's lieutenant during the Dragon Wars and so deserves to die, even though he was also the dragon responsible for saving mankind by teaching them the Thu'um, and the one responsible for training the Dragonborn in Skyrim. As Paarthurnax states, is it better to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? If anything, Paarthurnax is a far better person than someone like Delphine. Paarthurnax has struggled against his provenance to become the upstanding dragon that he is. And who is Delphine, a woman born onto the morally correct side, to criticise him for his transgressions, especially when the god Kain thought Paarthurnax worthy of redemption? Taking all this into account, Delphine's justification for killing the dragon amounts to nothing more than blind, irrational hatred. Rather than seeing an opportunity to make a powerful ally in Paarthurnax, she instead decides that it's more important to settle a score with a dragon that has proven far more valuable than Delphine in the battle against Alduin. Safe to say, this is the most stupid quest in the game because of how attached the player is to Paarthurnax. It was stupid of Bethesda to ask the player to kill the character they're probably most attached to in Skyrim. And then there's the fact that the Blades questline is thus left uncompleted by many players because they understandably feel unable to complete this quest. But luckily for us, there's the Paarthurnax dilemma mod that solves this whole problem. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more Elder Scrolls videos, then please do feel free to subscribe. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.